I'm going to call to order at 7:04 p.m. Present are Jess Suchik, Jill DeMont, Jeremy Little, Sherry Oken, and Amy Rando, our police liaison, and Pete Davis, our liaison to the school committee. We seem to have quite a few people absent, so I'm not even sure we'll be able to vote on those minutes. Okay, there is no public, no one from the public is here tonight. This call is being recorded, so we have to stick with the business at hand. I guess the first line of business would be boilerplate stuff. Let's see if we could approve the minutes from, let's see, Jess, do we have at least, I think we have 4 people that were at that meeting, correct? That's in the minutes?
Sorry, I was just checking because at this point, my memory fades. So for the August meeting, it was Olivia, Jess, Sherry, Teresa. So it's only you and I who are at the August meeting. For the September meeting, you, Jill, Sherry, and Teresa. So I don't think for either, because we eat at September and August, we had 4 commissioners for each. So I think
if 3 out of 4 are present at this meeting, we can vote.
Oh, okay. So great. Sorry.
Okay.
So for September, we can, and for August, we cannot unless Olivia shows up.
Okay. Before we vote on September, I know that I've sent you my edits. Does anyone else have any revisions, corrections, additions to the minutes from September 17th, our last meeting? Okay. If there are no additions and corrections, can I have a motion to approve? Someone vocal?
I move that you approve the September meetings.
Okay, Jeremy. And I second. Sherry seconds. I'm in favor. Jeremy?
I can't vote. I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there. I'm sorry. Jill? Jill? Yes. And Jess?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We have, it's going to be hard to conduct business with so few of us here. Let's see. The next thing I put on the agenda was the general operations, and Jill received the financials yesterday, and I sent them out early this morning. What I noticed is they're still not reflecting payments from our grant or repayments for money I put in for. And it also didn't reflect that I've already been repaid $124 to buy signs. But there was some other things on there that I didn't have any idea what it was.
I gotta be honest, I'm having a hard time reading these. I think because I don't have any context to connect it to, because I don't think we've spent any money since I've been part of the committee, or maybe your signs we have.
Yes. And that's not appearing on here because it says September 6th, but I already have a check in hand. In fact, I have it in front of me. I haven't deposited it yet. And that check, whoops, messing up my camera. Everything is collapsing. That check is dated. Oh, that's why. Because the check was dated the 19th of September. So there should be that $124 reimbursement on the next ones. But I don't even know what some of this other stuff is. I'm looking at, it says $3,048.76. That's on the grant report.
Yep.
I don't know where $1,744 comes from.
It says supplies.
Yeah.
So that was before last April. So this is a year-to-date budget report. So
yes. So this is only from July 1. So where
No,
does,
the previous. Because didn't it just close out in September? And
no, it closes out in June.
Okay, so could
Yeah.
this be the report from last year through June?
Not according to the number. It says 10/5/23 report created. And these numbers don't make, I mean, I recognize the $277 because that was money spent on actually last year. So
Yeah.
maybe this report is last year's. This, we're going to have to get together with Jackie Sorrento and
Mhm.
go through these numbers because I
Yeah.
have no idea
Yeah,
what any of this means.
yeah,
And right now, I can see our general budget. It still says we have $3,000 in there. No money has been spent.
right,
And that's because it starts on July 1.
yeah,
And end of August, right? They didn't put the September in. Next month, they should see minus $124 and any other expenses that anyone might incur for the activities we're going to have in the coming weeks. I
mhm,
hope we have activities in the coming weeks.
mhm.
Okay. So so Jill, why don't you and I figure out a time that maybe we can get together with the finance people and say, could you explain these numbers to us?
That would be great, and I'm relieved that I'm not the only one who doesn't understand what this is saying.
No, it doesn't make, I mean, these really make no sense to me at all. And
Okay.
I was treasurer and I read these before, but they make
Mhm.
no sense to me.
Mhm.
Um,
I did get these a few days ago, by the way. I sent them along this morning. Your prompt reminded me, so I did get these a few days ago.
okay. What we probably have to do is prompt Jackie Sorrento to send them a little bit earlier.
She actually sent them to me. It's me that didn't send them to you.
Oh, okay.
So
People
should I?
get busy. Okay.
Yeah. Should I send them directly to you or to everybody?
You can send them to everybody.
Okay.
You just distribute to everybody and say, please look these over for the next meeting.
Okay. So as soon as I get them, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sherry, did you mention you sent them out this morning to everybody?
Because I got it from Jill last night. So
Yeah.
this
Can you
morning.
just double check and make sure I'm on the list? Because I don't think I got anything for this meeting. So
When I came back from my vacation, I sent Sherry Dalton a copy of my contact
Yeah.
list and everyone's email addresses. And she said, yes, we have the same people.
okay. Yeah, I just
So I don't know
double
why
check,
you
so.
didn't get it.
I'll send you an email after the meeting so you have my email address just to double.
Oh, I do. It's Wormy.
Yeah, it's Wormy. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So
Yes, I do have it. And I will double check what she said she had everyone I had, but I will double check it
okay,
again.
I know.
Make sure.
I know I haven't been here the last couple of meetings, so make sure I
And I
didn't
know
get
that,
bumped off the list. So.
right, and I know Amy hadn't been getting email. So that's one of the other reasons I double checked it because I wanted to make sure that everyone was getting it. Amy, Pete, I assume you got the emails this time. Can you just give me a thumbs up or so I know?
Let me double check, Sherry. So the last email I got was October 10th, but it didn't have any attachments. And then I did get a meeting message from you on the last one before that was from September 15th.
But nothing from the 17th of October this morning?
No,
Because I sent out individually on through my own email.
No, I didn't get anything from you this morning.
And I used the WHRC email. You know how it comes up WHRC, and I just assume Sherry had everything in there. I will check it again because what I have done in the past is I've actually cut and pasted the list I have, which has everybody on it. So I will.
Yeah, because I
have been getting emails, so that was rectified on my end.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, because I also got the October 10th one, but not one today. That's why I asked. So
I'm not sure I got one today either.
I sent it out at about 10 of 9 this morning because I had a class at 9:30. So I sent it out before I left.
Yeah, I didn't get that from this morning, but I did get emails from you recently. So I was checking before this, but yeah, I'm just gonna put on here, check the WHRC all like that email list just to see who's on it.
Yeah,
Um,
and make that one of my to-dos, since I'm already in contact with Sherry about this, because
Okay.
it's been a little bit of an issue. I wish Greg Hirsch was here as well, because I guess I'll have to speak with him separately. But this falls into the next category on the agenda, which is communications, because obviously we're having some difficulty here. Not when we send individual information to each other, but when we're trying to send information out to the whole group without having to like type in every name or cut and paste from my Excel file. So that's something that, like I said, I will take that because I've already started that and work on that. But I know Jess has something very interesting and important to talk to us about in terms of communications.
So I've been working on the electronic storage and I've got this box set up on SharePoint. I'm still working out some of the kinks of it, which is why I haven't sent out instructions for how to use it or how to access it. Right now I'm working on how to organize it, and there's some glitches on my side that I'm working with Jen in communications. But as part of this, you've probably been sent something prompting you to set up an email on Outlook with the town. It would be basically an Outlook town email. And that would be how you access SharePoint. I would like to see if people would be interested in, or I would advise people to possibly do our communications with one another using that email then, as opposed to using personal emails. It would make it easier for, the reason why we're using SharePoint is for the freedom of information. If anybody ever wants stuff on SharePoint, they can get to our SharePoint through the town. If anybody ever wanted your email, it would be a town email as opposed to mixing your email communications, and also just for finding things. When I was trying to find all the communications for the WHRC today, I was also sifting through some, just back and forth, or getting emails from Sherry through my personal email. So when I send the instructions out and all of that, we might want to consider switching to using the town email for communications.
And a friend of Jess pointed out, and a very good point, that if there were ever a Freedom of Information Act request, if we use our own personal email, they can get into all of our own personal emails. So I know that Pete, you have, and Amy, you have email through the town that is wakefield.ma.us or something of that sort, and we would all have the same, I assume.
I think that what Ping set up is it's an Outlook address. I think that I don't know if it's at the town, but it's owned by the town. So mine right now is it's jsedich8@outlook.com, but it's owned by the town and it's just the town. So I think so when you set it up, you're setting up an Outlook account, but you're setting it under the umbrella of the town. So the Wakefield HRC email that I'm using for the just to be a general email for access to the SharePoint is wakefieldhrc@outlook.com. I did that just in case I went away and I figured it would be easiest to organize SharePoint under a general email. But so other than that, but I don't plan to use this Outlook account for anything other than the town. So I think it was just something somebody recommended to me. I don't think right now we're basically sending emails back and forth about who's going to be at what, who's going to be at the farmer's market this weekend. So it's not, but just for simplification in case anything ever came up.
Yeah. Could you please make a to-do for yourself to just resend the instructions on how to set up an Outlook, because I have an Outlook email, but that's a personal one, and I should switch over to a town one.
Yeah.
Because I realized that after the fact that I sent you the one I use for quasi business.
Yeah, I just to keep it simple, I would just set this up and have it be, like this is work. Um and so I can send I'll send information out and also then information for getting into SharePoint. I've put agendas in there now and some minutes in there and some of our general documents, but currently they have the permission set up that I can't move anything or delete anything. So I'm working with Jen in communications to make it work better so that I can actually organize the documents. They put the tightest controls on me. um,
Will we be able to put in the toolkit with things like our logo and the
yep.
promotional schedule, how you schedule things and all the contact people, and will we be able to update those documents at all?
You should be able to update the documents. I am I'm looking right now at it's a little like updating it is a little clunky. You check out the document, you update it, you check it back in. For something like a communications list, like the event communications list, I'm wondering whether we want to have just a shared document for that. It seems to be like if something's really actively changing and being updated all the time, we might want to talk about having a shared document. But that's something to talk about. The only like for logos, I wouldn't worry about it. For things that are being updated less regularly, I wouldn't worry about it. You can update these documents, but for if it's going to be something that we're really like, oh, I found out that this person's email updated, or if this person's no longer doing this, if it's going to be a lot of changes frequently, we might want to do something that's a little bit more agile.
Okay. Will we also be able to store digital files of, I know you asked me today, of brochures and things of that nature, flyers, so people might use those as examples because
Yep.
yeah, and
Yeah,
I have a lot of stuff I don't think I've sent you yet that, or maybe I have because I'm very muddled. I'm still in a different time zone. I know it's been over a week and I'm still muddled. That's what happens when you get 5 hours of sleep a night for 15 days. Your brain doesn't work for a while. But because I'm thinking about what you asked me for today, if there was any kind of templates in Canva or anything, just some sort of samples. So plus we should just have that as historical record. I have hard copies in that big plastic box, and I think I'm going to try to, if I can get my scanner to work, I would scan them, and that way I can send you JPEGs. I've never been able to get my scanner to work, but I will try.
For archival purposes, I would say JPEGs are good, but I would like to, because Jill asked me about making a sign for an event, and I don't have anything that's been made, and so I will probably do something in Canva. We can talk about that when that comes up on the agenda. But once I do it, I want to put it somewhere that it's shared, so nobody ever has to do it again. That's my goal. I would like to have templates so that we can really kind of not have to do stuff and then redo it again, because I don't think we all have the time.
And I know that I have professional software that I use that I know no one else owns. Like I pay a lot of money for Adobe Creative Suite.
Yeah.
And I have all of these flyers and templates, and I do reuse some of it, but no one else can use them. So Canva would be a better alternative, as long as you can change the document sizes, because the town requires their digital documents and kiosk documents be 11 by 17, not a regular 8.5 by 11 or 8 by 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I may use Canva, but then also I may also just put something in there that's really just accessible by all. I know that sometimes it comes down to word tools. I mean, I know it's kind of not ideal, especially if you're using Adobe products. Having somebody tell you to make a sign using Photoshop is maddening. I did graphic design for a bit, but also for our purposes, if it's a really simple sign, and we might do something really quick, or in Word, just something that everybody has, so
Mhm.
there's no version control. So, so there might be some stuff like that, or even having a PDF where you just change the date
Mhm.
and name of an event. So there are a few things in there that I think we can just build up a toolbox of stuff
Mm.
to make it easier.
And I had another, and it just left my mind. I had another question, but this is all part of, I mean, you call them signs, but actually what we do is we make flyers and then they're posted, and they're not, they're not, the only time I've made some signs is last year for Embrace Equity. I had a big wall poster made because people posed by it doing the Embrace Equity. And if we need to do something that's more, complicated like that or more graphical, I have all the tools and I will help everybody. And Jen McDonald will help people. She'll
Yeah.
help you do that stuff as well. If what you do in Canva is not the right size, she'll help convert it.
Yeah, she mentioned to me, and again, we can talk about this when we talk about the speakers, but I reached out to her for the size, and she's been really helpful for all of the things that I've needed so far. But yeah, and I the sign versus flyers, particularly for flyers, having something just really quick that people can access and do, I think is good. Working with sign companies is a bit different. I have old, a bit outdated memories of doing a lot of graphic design for a while. I'm out of practice, but I should be able to set stuff up for people.
And I still do, even though I retired. I would like to move on to the next item because I think this is probably the most important item on our agenda. Jatika has vacated her position. We have 2 positions that are not filled. We are short on personnel to get things done, as you can see. And before I went on vacation, I posted a special thing, not what the town did, something for us. I posted it in Patch, and I sent out an email to everybody in the HRC's email distribution list, telling them that there were openings. This is very difficult. We need to fill these openings because we can't do everything. In fact, you can see that we've been rather stymied on the fall events. And the town sends out these generic things that say there are openings. Look at the list and you'll see what openings there are. I think we have to do more specific. And the farmers market, unfortunately, it's going to rain, which is going to really limit how many people. I was looking forward to the town day to reach out to people, but now there's also, and they haven't invited us, but I'm going to invite us because we went last year, Wakefield 101 at the AmeriHall on November 2nd at 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's a way to get the word out again. And I am going to make a table sign that says, join us, commission seats open. And I will send out more email, and I'm not sure if I need to ask permission to publish yet another article. I want to publish an article in the item from us, because we really have to be a lot more proactive about filling these seats. I understand a lot of other commissions and committees in town are having a similar problem. I don't know if maybe the last few years, how ambitious we were and how many things we did scared people. And they said, oh my God, I don't want to get that involved. I don't know. It didn't scare you guys. You were interested. But we desperately need more help, especially when, Rabbi Greg is not always available. He's a voting member. I'm communicating with Vanessa, but she hasn't been coming to the meetings. Marching band seems to be every single night of the week, that and youth council. So if you have any other ideas, anything at all on how we can possibly, I'll do a flyer and have it in the town kiosk, anything to get some people interested in doing the work that we do. So please put on your thinking caps and help me out.
Are
Did
we,
you-
we're allowed to post that stuff on our personal Facebook page
Usually,
or not? Or we just
I-
post it on our HRC one?
it's on the HRC page.
Yeah.
And I have been sending Olivia all kind, even though she's got classes on Tuesday, she's still doing the work, and I've been sending her stuff. And it's on our webpage. It was on our website also, but it doesn't always rise to the top because she'll post something new on top of it. I wish we could put some kind of a scroll, some kind of streamer or
Yeah.
an ad that's
Like a banner.
right there.
Like a banner that runs across. Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
we share the HRC's post though?
Yeah, you can share it. You
Yeah,
can share it in Facebook. We've done that to publicize our events in years
Yeah.
past. So
and then we talked, last time I talked about maybe sending something out, I think into the school newsletters. Is there something written up that I could send to them?
Yes, I've written up, like I said, that was the last thing I did before I left for vacation was
Yeah, but
I
I
did
didn't see that. I didn't see that in Dalbert's
Oh.
newsletter.
Yeah, because it was in, like I said, I sent it to Olivia and I put
Yeah.
it on attach.
Yeah.
But I will send that. Okay.
If you want to
Jess,
send that
what
to
did you do
me,
for me that I should share?
if
the,
you want to send me the
invitation?
language, I can send it to them.
Yeah, that I should share what I wrote with everybody so
Okay.
that they can then share it with their network as
Okay.
well.
Mhm.
And I'll send out again a bulk email, and I'll make a special sign for these 2 occasions that we have coming up, and let's hope we get some interest. Because the fall is almost over and we have not had our usual events. But I would be very sad if we didn't do MLK Day or International Women's Day. And I know I have ready volunteers for Asian Pacific Islander, the same team of parents that I had worked with the last 2 years. But we definitely, and for the speakers, you need everyone, no one should have to do anything alone. And so that kind of brings us up to this activities. Why I put down early fall events, challenges faced. Sometimes you have to have a backup plan if plan A doesn't work. And when we do have activities, it's not just a singular event. It's also all of the information that you send out before, during, and after about what we're commemorating. So I know I sent Olivia, I don't think Teresa did, a bunch of stuff about Hispanic heritage that she could post and some links and things like that. So if, let's say, you were doing Indigenous people and you would not just advertise that one event, but you would also seek to educate people on our Facebook, on our website. And it's not that hard to find the stuff. You can cut and paste it off of the web. But I wanted to talk about the challenges that everyone faced in trying to get things and the frustrations of trying to get things planned this fall. I mean, Jeremy, you were working on Indigenous people. That was the one I think you were working on.
yeah. I was trying to guide Olivia, but the problem is I got really swamped at work. That's why we should have at least posted stuff. I don't, we definitely should have done that. And I thought it got sent to Olivia to post, but I don't think it ever got further. So, and I tried to hook up with Benny and that fell through,
Oh,
so.
okay. She was our great resource too.
Yeah,
She knows
exactly.
everyone
So-
to contact.
So I think part of me thought, oh well, Benny will come through because she's been there, and then she was swamped with whatever. So yeah, I should have done better on it. I take part of the heat on that, being a senior rep on here, but I learned from it. So
Can I ask you, as a follow-up to this, to pursue getting any reference material and names and contact information from Benny so that we have it for next year?
yeah.
Plus, we can even do it around Thanksgiving time because
Well,
Yeah, we can still post stuff around
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think we
think
should.
I was thinking about this for for a few of the things, for the Hispanic heritage and for Indigenous people. I know also that at those times, a lot of the communities, those, like affinity groups are overtaxed anyway, and it is hard to book people for things. And not to say that we shouldn't do that and shouldn't be doing these other things, but I think that maybe there's also an opportunity to do some events at other times,
Yeah,
like
so
doing some stuff for around the Thanksgiving holiday, or doing some, like finding other times so that I think it will enhance our presence as well, so that we're not just kind of a list of Hallmark events. We're kind of really finding other contact points.
yeah, because Olivia had one contact fall through, and then she had another backup one, but like you said, they were already taxed at that time with some other stuff. So it's a very good point, Jess, that
Gotta start early.
and that's right. I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's one where it sneaks up on us, I think, sometimes if we're not planning it in like August or even July,
Mhm.
to get the ball rolling on it. So
And we discussed it in July,
yeah.
but then people think, oh, I have so much time, but you don't.
Yeah.
And as you said, these people are in demand. I mean, it would have been wonderful to have had, like I said, that storytelling. Let's aim for that for next fall or this Thanksgiving, something, because during Thanksgiving we could give thanks to the indigenous citizens for enabling this country to exist and continue, because they made sure that those original settlers survived. They helped them survive. So we are very thankful to them, as well as to all our personal loved ones. So I don't think I think that would be wonderful if we could do that, but also think about, like, again, start early, have a plan B, and sometimes even that doesn't work. And don't forget that there are other ways to celebrate. It may not be an event, but I know when we were locked down, everything we did was online. We found, things that were already filmed and advertised them and broadcast them. We put up list of books and movies and music, just all kinds of things to say we are recognizing this. So it doesn't have to just be the event. But you have to start early, and it's not hard to find the information. It's really easy. In fact, there's too much information. The other thing was, I think you had some scheduling conflict. You were planning on having a speaker, Jill, and then it turned out the library, was it the library?
So,
Yeah.
so that's, if we're ready to move it on in the agenda to the speaker series, I can talk a bit about
Actually,
that.
we're sort of pushing all of this together, mushing it together, because it all is about how we've resolved challenges we've had.
This is not a challenge.
Okay.
Mhm. So
Was there somebody who was going to be from Speak Out that you were trying to get?
So if we're ready to move on, we have someone about affirmative action booked for November 6th.
Oh,
So we need to start advertising for that. And that's what Jess and I were communicating about. Because I have no idea how to make those posters. I'm happy to learn from somebody, but so she is booked for November 6th. It's a virtual event. It is, I don't want to get this wrong. I think it's at 7:30. Yeah, Monday, November 6th, that is set at 7:30. So that's a virtual event. The next event that I had in mind, I was talking with Speak Out Boston, and it turned out, so I was talking to them about considering doing something in February as sort of the next, that would be more of like a panel rather than a speaker. And they actually were booked to do something at the library last week. So I went to that, and I wanted to get the opinion of folks here. I mean, I thought it was wonderful. I would love to do that for HRC. When the director and I talked, we talked prior to the library event, and we talked about, maybe doing a follow-up or thinking about how to make it a little bit different than the library event. I will say I was one of 8 people that attended the library event. So I think it would actually be okay if we did the exact same thing.
And you can even advertise it as, we're sorry if you missed it the first time.
Mhm.
This is such a good event that we're offering it again.
Well, and I wondered how it was advertised. We might want to talk to the library and see, because we might not want to target the same audience. So the only reason I knew, I mean, I do follow the library on Facebook and things like that, but I don't necessarily read the paper each week. And so I might have missed. The way that I found out was by Speak Out Boston's virtual presence.
But you're not on the library's email distribution list. I get direct announcements from them every few days.
I must not be. I mean, I do get some emails from them, but I don't get them consistently, so I must not be. The sort of attendees at that event, there were 3 middle school students, but I was much younger than all of the other attendees. And I would really love to sort of target families for the next, if we did this same event.
Actually, I think for any of these particular engagements, we should use every contact we have in that folder.
Yeah.
I have the PTO people, the
Mhm.
youth council,
Mhm.
senior center. I'm on the council of on aging, the
Mhm.
senior center, because I have to tell you, seniors are among the most confused about pronouns
Yeah.
and identity.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult for them to even grasp it. So, and
I mean,
my
no, I'm
husband's
not
waving
saying-
at me. He's one of them.
Mhm.
I see.
I'm
And-
not saying to limit it to families. I'm just saying I'd want to make sure that we're just advertising in a bunch of different ways, which the library might have done. They might have done and still only got 8 people. So
The
Yeah,
library sends it through their own distribution list.
mhm.
Yeah, but I know that, so I've been speaking with the library, a few of the people there who do programming, and Catherine, who is the head over there. They're also always looking to expand their audience. I think they
Yeah.
have their mailing list, and they have the people who are already super interested in the library.
Mhm.
There are people,
Yeah.
there are people who are very, very much their audience, but I think that they're also always looking to expand that audience
Yeah.
and bring
Yeah.
more people in.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was the question I really wanted to ask everybody. Should, the library does advertise and they only got 8 people. So does that mean that we should try again, or that we should potentially use a different group?
No, I think that we should co-sponsor it with the library and use our ways of
Mhm.
communicating in addition to their sending it out.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
So
Okay.
I think, and definitely, and
Yeah.
this has to be for the affirmative. November 6th is like right around the corner. We got to get stuff out. Is it on the community calendar yet?
I
Or
don't
on
know
the
how to do that. Somebody
Oh.
sent me an email telling me to do all these things. I don't know how to do any of it.
Okay, Jill.
Yeah.
I will give you a call. I don't know when's a good time to give you a call, but everything is in that particular document that I put together. It has all the links and how you do it, all the places you go, the patch, everything. But I can talk you through it if you want me to talk you through it. And just tell me, like, I think tomorrow evening I'm free as well. If you want to spend some time tomorrow evening, or even after this phone call, oh no, tomorrow evening I have Books by the Lake. But if even after this phone call, if you want, I will stay on with, or I'll get on the phone with you and go through it with you.
Mhm.
Because it's all really outlined, and there's even a schedule, a suggested schedule of the order to send things out in and how soon.
Sure.
And it's not, believe me, it's not complicated. The library calendars, you go to the library website, you go to the calendar. The
Mhm.
community calendar, you go to the town website, it gets on their calendar. And
Mhm.
I think there's cross-pollination, and it might appear twice if you do it in
Okay.
each place, but that's okay.
Okay, I might be able to stay on for a few minutes at the end of this. It is tight with bedtime, but I can try to, that would probably work out best if we try to do that. But so November 6th is not Speak Out. This November 6th
No,
is
it's
affirmative
affirmative
action.
action.
So that is the woman from the NAACP. And so yes, we've got to, I know I just realized a couple days ago that is so soon. So we've got to push that out. Go ahead, Jess.
I can do, tomorrow I will be able to set up all of the stuff for Jen,
Okay.
for this. And then I think the flyers are just flyers. They're just 8.5 by 11 flyers, right?
Yeah, well, we
Okay.
only need one, well, Eileen left a whole bunch of 8 by 10 plastic frames in the box. So I can put a frame on the table, and then if you just have some even half sheets, you don't need
Okay.
full pieces of paper that just say, join us for, and have the HRC logo on it, and I'll have it on the table. And not many people take it, so if you do, I don't know, 25 pages and cut them in half and you end up with 50 flyers, that will be more than enough. Because we'll have it for both occasions. Because I'll be speaking to the library tomorrow about making sure they reserve a Wakefield 101 table for us as well, which was great last year. There were so many people at that. So it's just another good, and it's indoors.
Yeah.
Which helps. So
But
you've done, oh, that's great. You've got two wonderful things
So-
planned.
And the affirmative action, we talked about the 6th or the 27th, but Steve said there's a town council meeting on the 27th.
Mhm.
So we probably don't want to do that date, right?
Okay, no. And
Okay.
I have to tell you that it's really important before you schedule everything to always check those calendars
Yeah.
and double check even with the administrative office at town hall and saying, am I missing something? Is there something else? Because this is one of those challenges, lessons learned. You always check to see what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And if we could join in and become co-sponsors, that's great too.
So after we talk
Can I
this
ask
out,
you, the affirmative action, what is the focus is going to be about affirmative action, about college admissions or what?
so we talked about this last time when I saw her presentation. She talked a bit about what the new ruling meant, what the implications were, and she did talk a fair amount about college applications and what that meant for families and for students, and the reaction from colleges and the reaction from applicants, and what you can sort of do to represent yourself.
I think to be a real community event, the focus should probably be on what would interest families, because we're not the Chamber of Commerce, but our families are the ones who are trying to make sure that their children are represented and get a fair chance at everything.
I think from something like this, there could even be a follow-up, like there are ways to use language and to sell yourself in your application without presenting the college a problem. Like, so that, because I think that is some of the stuff that she's going to speak about. I think that the school may also be speaking to some people or doing some of this, because I know they have a whole parent 101. So if there's something that then we could then promote a parent 101. Like if there's something else, I feel like anytime there's there's also something going on. That's the thing I find is happening in Wakefield, that there's a lot of stuff that people are working on, but they're siloed. So if they're, so I think that it sounds like she will speak about some of the stuff that you can do when that's applicable to parents and students. But I think we might even be able to talk to Glavia to see if there's any other workshop or thing going on through the school that's similar.
And how long a presentation? Because remember, people have a certain tolerance for how long they can watch a Zoom.
It's an hour. That's
a lot. Does that include questions and answers, like 45 minutes and then 15 minutes? Okay, yeah. We have found that, people fade, and that's why I try to keep even these meetings to an hour, and we're going to run out of time if we don't move along, I guess.
So the speak out one, we haven't firmed up a date, so I'll just reach back out to her and tell her we're interested, and I'll get a date for that.
Okay. And again, check with things that are going on in the town and get it on the calendar before anybody else does, because if they see we're on the calendar, they're not going to be on the calendar. So you put it on as early as you have a date. Thank you. I'm very pleased. This is great. Steve will be pleased because it's topical, But I have to tell you, International Women's Day is also topical and educational in the same kind of way, because we always have a panel and we have a theme based on the national theme. So we'll do a lot of that kind of, and I still think we should do some events that are educate people about the cultures. Okay. Well, I mentioned that Wakefield 101. It's 6 to 7:30 at the AmeriCol. I'll be there. I'll bring all the stuff. It's really good if I have a partner. Is there anyone who's available Thursday, November 2nd? I know it's in the middle of dinner hour, which I think is so crazy, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It would be very, very helpful if somebody, look at your calendar, would join me at that, because it's an hour and a half and you want to take a little break, and sometimes you have a few people come up and you want to talk to more than one person at a time. But I'll make sure that all the materials are available and ready, as they were for Town Day, still sitting in a bag in my front hall. Speaking of that, did anyone pick up the signs in advance and have them in their house, or they're still in Town Hall? Hate has no home here signs.
They are still in town hall because I
Okay.
started getting emails from town saying that they were thinking of canceling it. It was just a lot of lead up, and
Okay.
there was it was like all suggesting that it was going to just pour. It actually didn't end up raining as much as everybody said it was going to, but it was I kept getting emails saying, stop what you're doing, it might be canceled. So so I have the peace flags from Jill, but then I didn't get a chance to pick up the other stuff. If
I
you
will pick
need
them.
me
I
to-
will pick them up.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Um,
think I
Farmers
can
market
join you
on
on the
Saturday.
second.
Farmers market on Saturday. We need a canopy.
Oh.
It's going to rain. We need does anyone have a lightweight canopy that they can please bring and set up? Mine are massive because we use them for these big camping things that we do. Festivals.
So I have a 12 by 12 one. The problem is I'm leaving for Spain Friday for a week for work, so I'm not going to be around on Saturday. But if someone wanted to coordinate with me on Friday to get it at the house, or even Thursday, I have the 12 by 12 one we used last year. It's pretty easy to set up with one or two people. So
Can you drop it at my house perhaps before you leave? Anytime this week.
yeah. No, I can drive it. I can drop it at your house.
Okay. It can, if I'm not home, we have a screen porch. You can put it on the back screen porch. The front hall is pretty full of HRC stuff right now. But if I'm not there, or if, give me a call beforehand, and if you want to, but you can, like I said, drop it at the screen porch. But we definitely need that. And I'll get my husband to help me carry it. Oh God, he doesn't like to get up that early, but I'll get him to help me carry it over.
Yeah, I mean
because I'm going to set it up
got
at
wheels,
8:30.
so I mean it's got a wheels on the back. It's
Yeah.
It's the one we used last year. I don't know if you remember, but it's like green and white. So we had it last year for the farmers market. So
I believe I was under that canopy with Benny, but I don't recall stripes, but I know we're going to need it. And raincoats and umbrellas. And I just hope, I know it's one of the last farmers markets, so I hope people still want to come out, even though the weather won't be perfect. In fact, they're now predicting heavy thunderstorms for Saturday morning. Of course, that's horrible. Okay, great. Thank you, Jeremy, because
I
like
think
I
I
said,
can-
the one I have is huge. It's brand new. It's fantastic, but it's huge.
yeah,
and
this is
it's
just
very heavy.
one bag, and it's all one piece. Like the canopy's already on it. So all you do is
Yep.
pull on each corner diagonal,
Yep.
and it and then pop the legs up. So
Oh,
it's
yep.
straightforward.
Okay,
Yep.
excellent. Thank you. So the lecture series is moving along terrifically. We have to start promoting that November 6th one, like tomorrow. And anything I can do, Jill, to help you or instruct you, I will do. Farmers market, we have a canopy. I'll be there to set it up. We have other people who volunteered. That's great. Wakefield 101, if anyone can join me, please come. Just send me an email and say I'll be there. I'll be there the whole time, 6 to 7:30, but it's not good to do it solo. And then the next big thing, and I have notes from last year, and I want to have Glavier, of course, involved in this, and perhaps Pete can help as well. The MLK Day. I don't know who I've never been involved with organizing that. Jeremy, have you ever been involved with MLK Day?
Yeah, so Teresa and I did it last year,
Oh,
and I did it the year before with Benny, the virtual one. So I have been involved in the MLK. Each year I've been on the committee. So
Okay, can I have you take the lead and I'll work with you on that, and anyone else who wants to, because that's a, at Glavia, because that's a kind of a major event with a lot
yeah,
of
it's a big
different
event.
parts.
So
Because I'm not even sure where to start other than reserving the Galvin.
yeah, I can take it, and hopefully Teresa will join us as well, because she has
Okay,
a couple years experience with me as well. So if
that would be
me and Teresa are kind of the tag team on it, we should do fine. And then we can teach the other people how to do it. So when we're off in April, it will be transitioned over. So, but yeah,
and it'll be in SharePoint, the steps that you take
correct,
to plan one
correct.
of these.
So yeah,
Okay, that would be excellent, because that is January 15th. And I know seems like that's a long ways away, but there's a lot to that event. A lot of wonderful entertainment and school children involved and awards given. And you get political speakers and religious speakers to do a convocation. It's one of my favorite town events. Ever since I've been living here, I've been going to that. Okay.
yeah. And if you remember last year, the community service project that was tagged along with it got postponed like 3 times because the weather was so cold. If you remember, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but yeah. So
Well, they weren't even part of what happens is there's usually a community service project. And last year we were going to be doing it with the Boys and Girls Club. And we were supposed to help them paint this fabulous mural inside the basement of the Boys and Girl Club, which is all, cement block kind of place. And the weather was so horrible. It was a mild winter, but just so happened every time we scheduled it, it had to be canceled. Blizzard warnings and things like that. So, and that is something that, a lot of people help out from different community groups. Okay. Can I move on to just the last couple of items on here, pretty short? There are several community training active bystander programs coming up that anyone can tap into. I put it on patch today for Stephanie, for Quabbin. I know that Youth Council, this goes with it, is really, really interested in having a tab. Vanessa asked for information. I put her in touch with Stephanie. So there are a lot of them coming up, November and December. So if somebody wants to take it, they can just tap into the community ones. And I think I will, now that I have the flyer, I will also, with your permission, I'll advertise it on our websites and Facebook page as well. I put it on tab, just in general, that people should look out for this. And I hope sign up. But I believe that the best chance we have of sponsoring one might be for the youth, which would be great, because for some reason or another, we haven't been able to pull together enough people, even though people say they're interested, to have a Wakefield community one. But if we can have one for the students, there are future leaders and parents in this community, so be it. That would be great. The only other thing I wanted to mention, and I didn't have it on here, it's sort of a matters not anticipated, is Amy, are there any slots available still for the women's self-defense?
Hey, Sherry. So it did actually finally fill up. So I
Okay.
don't currently have any spots. I have a wait list going though.
Okay. I just wanted to tell you folks that the police department is offering a 4-evening self-defense course for women, which I am taking. My husband wanted to take it, but I said, no, it's for women. And it's a wonderful service provided by our exceptional police department and Department of Safety. And I just wanted to give a kudos for that. And Pete, since you've been sitting here and waiting, so there, Amy. Pete's been waiting patiently. He came in. Pete, do you have anything that you would like to comment on or report that is a matter not anticipated?
I don't think so. I will say Superintendent Lyons is looking to put out a statement to our families regarding the situation and the attack on Israel and the situation in the Middle East. It's not really up to our subcommittee to, micromanage his wording there, but he'll be working on something there to go out to our school families.
Okay. Yeah, and we do not get into politics, but we do support people who we think are doing the right thing in terms of peace and safety. I don't think it would be at this point appropriate, or maybe you folks do, for us to have any kind of statement about the situation in Israel and Palestine. It's rather fraught. I don't know if you'd be interested
Yeah, I
in.
think it's, I mean, I personally think it's pretty complicated in terms of not even knowing what's going to happen with our country's involvement or on one side or another.
Okay.
I think.
I think, Sherry, this kind of goes back to when we had these come up before, that unless it's really local in the community, right, like directly, then we kind of sit pat and like we said, right?
Yeah.
So,
Unless we have like a general, and this sounds like, Pete, that something like this is going out, like just a general message of peace and support for anyone affected by
Yeah, I can't
the
speak.
situation. I wouldn't begin to want to word it, but it sounds like that's what this will be. And I think that, general messages of like support for and hope that people and their loved ones are safe. I think anything beyond that is possibly fraught.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't speak for Superintendent Lyons and what wording he has in mind, but yes, I think that's the intention, Jess.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to float that by you guys just in case, because I know in the past we've made statements, but I do agree that this is so complex an issue and changing by the minute that it would be very hard for us to put something out that would have any legs, that might stand for more than a few hours with the way things change. Okay, so everyone, hey, it's 1 hour since we started.
I know, but can I ask one little question? Sorry.
Sure. Okay.
So sorry. I was just thinking, it is a virtual event, this affirmative action speaker, and so I need to set up a Zoom link for you to put on the poster, right? For you to put in, for me to put in the calendars and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is there like
Sherry Dalton should be able to, is it like that? The Cherry will set it up?
You can have the library do it.
Or-
Sometimes WCAT does it for you.
a Zoom link?
Yeah. But I would start with Sherry Dalton and say, we have, because Steve wanted this kind of thing, say we have a speaker we would like to have, and she'll set up a Zoom link for it. And then it'll be advertised to the whole entire town through the town website too.
So then who's in control of it? Like who starts the meeting?
The problem is we want attendance, right? Well, no, what will happen is just like here, a host is assigned. When
Okay.
I come into the meeting, I can't come in until 5 minutes before scheduled time. Once I come into the meeting, I claim host. And so I am in control. I mean, I can shut people off. I can invite people in. I can share documents. I can invite you to share documents. So she could set you up to be the host. Are you going to be the facilitator, introduce things? Or okay. And which one of you will be doing the Q&A, because someone has to facilitate that as well?
I mean, I assume I will be. I'm happy to do that. I've had that time set aside, but also have to share that responsibility if anybody wants to.
And you have to decide whether you want the Q&A to be live or through chat. You might want to do it through chat so you can decide which ones are appropriate, so nobody starts ranting or saying things online. I would say that we have to talk about how that is handled. The speaker, a lot of the things I've gone to, the speaker speaks, there's a facilitator that looks at all of the questions that comes through on chat and then proceeds to ask the speaker to answer questions on behalf of.
So in order to get that Zoom link, I'm going to email Sherry Dalton. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And this is, tell her it's to give her all the details.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like I said, it's very easy to play host. And when you play host, you set it up so it's only the speaker is on the screen. You know, you'll introduce and then the speaker will be on the screen, but you probably will want some sort of opening slide or graphic as well that you can, or I can help you with, while people are waiting to hear from the speaker. And but there's a little bit of logistics, and like I said, time is short. So let's start first by announcing it everywhere, asking Sherry to set it up. And November 6th is what night of the week?
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Great. People are not busy on Mondays. I don't know what it is. Town council meets on Monday, but other than that, everyone meets on Tuesday or Wednesday. Excellent. And do you want me to call you, Jill,
Sure.
do you want me to call you after this meeting, or do you want me to call you tomorrow sometime?
Is it possible to stay on Zoom and stop recording?
No, once
Okay.
we're on Zoom, we're recording.
Okay.
Okay, because this is just a matter of going through that document. What I'll do is I'll re-email it to you so you'll have it in front of you while we talk.
Okay. If you don't mind forwarding me that tonight, I'll take a look at that and see if I can figure it out. Is that okay?
And then you can, right. And Jill,
Okay.
Jess, I think understands a lot of it already.
Okay.
And if, and then you can just tell me when you would like to give me a couple of different times. Like I know tomorrow night I have a meeting that goes from 6:45 to like 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So that's not good, but I'm available in the afternoon, and I am available most of Thursday after the morning, you know, so I'll be able to help you with that. Okay, everyone, thank you so very much. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we are adjourning at 8:05 p.m. And I thank all of you for your participation and all of your efforts. And Jess, you're taking such good minutes.
Do you have to vote on the adjournment?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We don't. I think it's all in favor. You know, we all want to, we want to go home, well, back to whatever we do in the evenings. Okay, thank you.